Hello everyone. I'm Saman.
And I'm Sweekriti.
And I'm Jim Michael.
And you're watching the Pregame Diaries.
Dating life in the industry. These girls are spilling tea.
You're watching the Pregame Diaries with Saman and Sweekriti.
Okay guys, so as you know, the pregame is the best part of the night, and today's episode is going to be the Friendship Diaries. And again, we have our special guest, Jan Michael. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Jan Michael. I'm from New York City, originally born in the Dominican Republic. I'm 26 years old, and I'm a Capricorn with an Aries moon and a Leo rising.
Okay, cool.
For anybody who cares, right?
The beautiful hair. Oh my god, both of you guys are Leo rising.
Yes.
Period. So guys, today we're going to be focusing more on friendships, just being in New York City, evolving, growing. We go through a lot of changes, Sometimes we grow apart with friends. Sometimes we get closer with friends.
Sometimes you beef.
Sometimes you beef. Sometimes
you crash out on a
tries
bitch.
to fuck you.
sometimes you ghost, There's lots of lore. But this is going to be the first episode of our Friendship Diaries.
And I know you guys want us to be super messy. If you know, you know. We may not.
We'll see. We'll see how we end up feeling or,
Yeah.
I don't know. But overall, though, this is going to be only the first episode. So there's going to be more lore on more friendship.
What you've been waiting for.
Later on.
Yes. Okay, so let's get into the first question. So we're going to start tame and ask... We'll start with you, Jen Michael. Okay. What do you look for in your friendships? We're all in our early to mid 20s in a big city, so that's sort of what we're going to be talking about.
Wait, should we kind of talk about how we became friends?
Sure.
Wait, I don't even have a straight story.
To be fair, I don't really remember the first time we met.
Also, guys, we're drinking mocktails.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I have a ginger ale.
I have a protein shake.
And I have a vanilla Coke.
It's like Powerpuff Girls. I think the first... Wait, we talked about this, actually. We met at... It was like a house party. Was it at no...
Girl, if I'm being honest, I can't tell. Okay, what I can recall is the essence. The essence of that moment.
We met last year when we were outside.
Yes. Wait. Okay, I locked in.
Oh,
Okay, so it was at Noah's.
Shout out to
Noah John. Shout out to Noah John. Shout out to Without Warning. Shout out to him facilitating this community. Yes. But it was you and all your girls. I'm not 100% sure if you had gotten there yet.
I'm always late, so.
Yeah.
Was it their first housewarming party?
I think it was, it might have been. And there was just Brat.
Someone might have been in Africa.
Yeah, most likely was.
Yeah, because this is when Brat came out.
But I feel like
this is very important, ladies. This is very important.
But I feel
everybody in
we
between.
may have met before that.
Yeah,
I was I was looking at something my screenshots, and I was like, oh, I didn't know we were friends for that long.
I think we met before, but I think that was the first core memory.
Yeah. We for sure met before that. Yeah.
But it was just you and your girls dancing to Brat on one side of the couch, and then it was me and my girls.
Came out. Mm-hmm. I have videos from that. I'm gonna
you should.
do a little edit.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah,
it's gonna be
and then on the other side of the room was me and the girls that I came with, and everybody was just having a moment.
That was really fun.
This historical moment that we had last year with Brat, and we were all really experiencing it and living it. And then I just saw Sweekriti, and she was so passionate about it. There was just something in her eyes that was really connected to everything that was going on, and I related to that.
Just very passionate about Brat,
Yeah, just about doing it. And I think that's just my first I feel if I don't even remember what happened, I will remember the essence. And I was just period. I was just I see her.
But yeah, ever since that, we just always have fun whenever we're out and about.
Yeah.
And now we're all BFFs now.
As you should.
Oh, yeah.
One time I met Jen Michael, and then I had a dream about him, actually. I might have had a mini crush. But...
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
I felt that.
You felt that?
I felt that.
You felt
you
that?
Felt that essence?
I felt that. I felt that a little
bit. Felt
bit.
a vibe?
Yeah, I did.
I'm crying.
This is happening in real time, everyone. By the way, like we've never had this conversation before.
No,
So
the lore is crazy.
the lore.
But anyways, so now that we're all BFFs, what do you guys look for in like a friendship? Friendship green flags, I guess.
Right. Okay, so I just want to say I feel like we come into this world and we are friends with people from like mere circumstance. You know what I mean? Like like elementary school, middle school, high school, like the girls you're friends with is like proximity, just like whatever circumstance you're in, like and like you build those attachments, but then you grow up and you go to college. World. And I feel like college is like one era and like where a lot of my like close friends or like closest friends come from, like this era in my life.
Where did you go?
I went to CCNY, the City College of New York. But like it's like a mix of like CCNY people and like NYU people, my friends, or like my super close friends. But what I was gonna say is like that's like the first time you kind of like open your mind up to people, or like you're intentional. You're like, I think making friends should be something very intentional. That's the first time you're more intentional about who you're being friends with, because you're kind of starting from scratch and your brain is a little bit more formed. You're not like 12 years old, like bonding over like Bradley's low. Yeah. But like in this era of my life, that was a long ass intro to what I'm about to say. But like in this era of my life, what I'm looking for is like just warm, empathetic people. Empathetic, not pathetic. Empathetic people. Who just like, I don't know, like lead with kindness. Obviously not like that those fake nice people.
I hate fake nice people.
Real
It's so obvious. Like,
but just, you know, and it's something that is like, I can't really describe. Like you feel that warmth off of other people, you know, you feel like the vibes are good and you go off of that. Also just people who like, and this obviously takes time to like get to know someone, but just people who like know how to have empathy for others and move tactfully. Like those things are very, very underrated. And intentional. People who are intentional as well. Yeah, I think that's what I'm currently looking for in this stage of my life.
yes.
Can I just say your skin is so good?
Thank you.
No, like I was just staring at your skin from this side, like.
Well, you can head down to Senti Senti. There's two of them. There's one in Brooklyn and then there's one in New York. Look them up. I don't know the address, but that's where I get all my shit from.
Okay, period.
We love a routine.
And drink water.
Yes.
All right, Simon, what do you look for in a friendship?
I feel like right now I'm just looking for people that I can grow with, that aren't really going to hold me back and that are going to add to my life. And it's not only for friendships, I'm looking for that in all my connections. It's like, if you're not teaching me anything, if you're not adding to my life, then why are we in a relationship? Relationships are a lot of work and a lot of effort. So why put effort? I feel like at this point in my life, my connections are an investment to me, and not in a like financial way, but like if I'm going to invest in spending my time with you, getting to know you, you getting to know me, it needs to be worth it, if that makes sense. Like you can just like that, what you mentioned about like circumstantial friends, like, okay, you have to be friends with those people because you're around them all the time, but
do you though? What do you though?
They know in high school, I'm like, everyone hated me, but they loved me at the same time. But yeah, it's like, I'm an adult. I don't have to be friends with, we don't have to have a connection at all.
Yeah. For me, I think the number one quality I look for is like a strong support system. Like, I'm like, I cannot, like, if you're my friend, which thankfully at this point, my friends, you know, shout out to you guys as well, are just very supportive and just show up for me. That's the number one thing, because actually there was like a TikTok that went viral that was just talking about how like having a community, it's annoying at times when you don't want to like show up because you're like going through it or whatever, but like you still show up to like for people that you care about. And I think that's like really important.
Yeah, our friend group is very much so like that.
Like everyone will like show the fuck up. Like someone could be sick and they'll still show up to our event. Like that is just like another level of commitment and just appreciation.
That reminds me of like Michelle. She was like so sick one time. She was so sick one time and she was like, girl, I can't even hug you. And she went there for like 20 minutes or however long she stayed, and like
exactly. And I'm like, literally, like, who can ask for better friends?
And the thing about it too is that it's so easy, especially because we all have jobs. So it's like Uber, stay for a little bit and dip.
And if you're tired, drink a Celsius.
Drink a Celsius. Like, we all...
Show your pussy out.
Like, it's so easy, and things like people, we were just mentioning Noah is with Without Warning, which is another podcast. They always host events and stuff, which I felt like that all brought us together a lot last year, because we all went to every single event. We knew when we were going to see each other next. It's like, are you on the Partiful?
Yeah.
The Partiful. Did Michael come?
Yeah.
No,
so
like I'd be looking at the Partiful, like, is Kitty coming?
No, I'm like,
is Jen Michael going?
I'm like, when are they going to RSVP?
No, yeah. And I really know for sure. And it's fun because, like, with their events, it's like, it's the same kind of group of people, which is nice. Because it's just like a thing.
Yeah.
And then you just, like, get closer and closer every single time.
And then you end up on someone's podcast on a random Sunday.
Fun fact, so at our launch event...
Oh, yeah. We have to speak about how you're here.
More lower.
We were kind of doing, like, a little raffle little moment. Mm-hmm. What was the process? I don't even remember.
I don't remember.
We did some kind of raffling, whatever
we
system. And then Jan Michael won the ticket to be our next podcast guest. So
yes.
That's the lore.
From memory, I don't even think I won the raffle. I just told you about how I like to yap and I would contribute to the podcast.
Oh, and anyway. The thing I just gave you.
And I think you just gave me the ticket.
It's giving favoritism. Nepotism.
Frienditism, whatever. But definitely growing up though, like, the proximity versus friends that you actually want to keep, I feel like that's such a major difference, because I'm not from here. So, like, growing up, like, the friends I had, it was definitely more like a proximity vibe. Mm-hmm. But I kind of knew I was gonna move.
Mm-hmm. You were like, I'm not gonna be friends.
So my mindset was like, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. I don't know. But I feel like I kind of have a different take, because, like, moving here, not knowing anyone, it was like, we can get into that later.
No, but that reminds me of in high school.
Definitely a different experience, like, make friends.
That reminds me of in high school, like how you said, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Like, bitches will plan to move in with me, go to the same college with me, like, live our whole entire lives together. And I'm there like, we're gonna move to, it was always move to LA, because you know how influencers and shit were so big back then, and do all these things. And I'm like, them bitches never did that.
No, like, I'm still really close with some of my childhood friends.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, that never, like, died down or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the way I connect with my friends now is just different. Because it's more like a creative, inspirational aspect.
Yeah.
Know? Not just, like, because we're around, like, family and school.
Yeah.
So I think it's more fulfilling for me now, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Okay, guys. What makes a good friend and what makes a bad friend to you? Let's start. Should we start with the good or the bad?
We can start with the good.
Okay.
The good, number one, literally just show the fuck up. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like, just show up and support each other, no matter who, because someone's always going through it. But, like, we talk about this, but just the ability to show the fuck up for somebody is top tier. I think that makes a really good friend. Mm-hmm.
I also have just like a very baseline answer. Literally, someone who just has your best interests at heart.
Yeah. Because not everyone does. For me, I put, like, respect, good boundaries, being able to grow, and just an appreciation and understanding for each other. Like, I feel like appreciation is a very high vibration. Like, even further than gratitude, like, it's like, I don't even think it's hard to show appreciation, but some people just don't. You can tell, like, just don't appreciate you.
No, like me after a drink with the girlies.
No,
I always do this with Simone. I'll have a drink and I'll look over Simone. I'll be like, Simone, I love you so much.
Yeah, I think that's something, like, you mentioning it, I was like, it took me a second, because I feel like that's so, like, second nature to me, or like...
Yeah, it's second nature to some people, and some people just don't have it or get it.
Yeah, and what's crazy is, like, I do all the things that I do for my friends, and I don't even ask for reciprocation, just appreciation.
Yeah.
Just to be seen and know that, like, hey, I kind of went out of my way to do that.
And it doesn't take that much effort.
It really doesn't. It just... Yeah, it doesn't take much effort, but I'm constantly, like, just in any way I can, just, like, telling my friends how, like, beautiful they are, or how much they matter to me, or, like, just always, like, if we're just hanging out, it could be, like, even if these cameras weren't on and I was just, like, with my closest friends, I would literally just be like, like honestly, like I feel so safe around you guys. Like just something like that. Like, and it's not something that I think like, oh, I have to be appreciative. Like, let me do it. It's just genuinely coming from within.
Yeah. And that makes a genuine friendship.
Yeah.
If you like, have you ever been in a connection? They never compliment you. They never like you'll do things for them. They wouldn't even say thank you.
Like it's like not to tally up, but then you start noticing a pattern.
No, because if you are noticing it, then it's blatantly like, okay, like what are we doing? Like,
yeah, I think, and I was gonna get to this later, but honestly, better to just say it now. I think within friendships, you have to constantly like check in with yourself.
Yeah.
Like continuously be like, how does my nervous system feel around people?
Yeah.
Like genuinely, like if I am for some reason always anxious to like approach someone about even like a small conflict, my nervous system is dysregulated. Your nervous system, I'm gonna look into the camera, hold my hand. Your nervous system should not be dysregulated by the people who are your friends. Your friends are supposed to make your life easier. They're supposed to make just easier. Literally just
I wish you told me that a year ago.
just time skip. Or rewind, whatever.
It's okay. We needed it for growth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we get into like what makes a bad friend?
Yeah, this is gonna be long.
Yeah.
It's gonna be long. Let me stop.
I could take the mic for this one. What makes someone a bad friend? Well, unfortunately, in my life, gone through a friendship breakup where I realized they just were not a good friend to me at all. And something that I kind of like I had like my rose colored glasses on because I'm very empathetic and I'm nice, so I always like try to see the best in people and give people the benefit of the doubt. But then over time I was kind of like, okay, this is not Number one thing is just like having no boundaries.
Yeah,
like that is my number one.
Big one.
My number one red flag, just having no boundaries, or even if you communicate a boundary, they don't respect that.
Yeah, that
is automatically like a no. A second one is in a friendship, it's supposed to be a safe space. So if you have a friend that's telling your business to everybody, that is not your friend. Another one. Honestly, these are like really obvious, but I've had to learn the hard way. Also, just like putting you down very subtly in front of other people. It'll be so subtle that like you don't realize. But then like for me personally, after this friendship ended, I look back and I'm like, oh my God, I can actually think about all the times this person was like being so subtle about it. But like you just don't notice in the moment, Those are like my top 3 things that I'm like, yeah, it's not the vibe. What about you guys?
I don't think I have a list, but just like off the dome, I hate a bitch with no tact. I really do. Like
put that on a t-shirt.
A tactless individual to me is just like
drive.
No. When I say tact, I mean like, let's say, I'll give an example. I'll give very
dictionary.
So I come home and I'm sad because my little brother's moving away to Connecticut. Literally the reason I'm alive is my little brother. Like whenever I want to jump, I look at a picture of him in my room, I cry about it, and I'm like, I have the will to live for this child. Like it is like and all my friends know this about me. Like,
wait, how old's your little brother?
He turned 10 recently.
Oh wait, okay, I understand this because my little brother's 15, so it's like the age difference.
Yeah. And like literally I was crying my eyes out in the store because he wanted to hang out and I said no because I was hanging out with my friends. Like,
and then you feel bad.
Yeah, and I felt so bad that I had to tell him no. But like that's just how much I love him. So I come home and this friend, unfortunately, is someone that I live with currently. But like I come home and I like ask one of my roommates for like a hug because I'm feeling sad and I explain to her the situation. And then my friend overhears me and his first words out of his mouth were, "Oh my God, he's gonna die."
Oh.
Wait, who?
My little brother. Like, oh my God, he's gonna die living in Connecticut.
Why would you say that?
Because you don't like. I don't know why you would say that. Actually, like, please, if you're watching this, please tell me why the fuck you would say that.
I'm kind of gagged right now.
No, yeah, that's crazy, right? But like you said, you kind of, I don't know. I feel like you do these mental gymnastics to like be friends with somebody where you're like, okay, that was really fucking weird, and you just kind of like move on from it. and like, I don't know, you like try to explain it to yourself. I have no idea. I have no idea why an individual would say that, but like not having tact in that moment, just like, yeah, your friend is sad. Why would you literally say like the worst thing that you could think of, like just being a weird ass bitch? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, yeah.
like turn this on. Turn
Yeah.
this on. Come on. Like you see, like even if we weren't friends, why would I literally just say like the worst thing that someone could like?
I could relate to this.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it is just like that's just
kicking
very
you while you're
abusive,
down.
but, like,
Yeah.
It's just like you're just not thinking about the other person's. It's just like the lack of empathy, low key.
Yeah.
Because it's like.
just like moving in a very like callous and weird way. Like I'm not about that.
No. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Salon, do you have any?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like I was happy.
No.
Yeah.
You're so good.
So number 1, male-centered friends.
That's a good one.
Male-centered friends and male-centered friendship. Yeah, male-centered friends and male-centered friendship. So the difference is male-centered friends are just people who care about men when men are in the equation, when men are in the room. Whew.
They're bye-bye.
Yeah. Male-centered friendships are when the only thing you can talk about is men, relationships, things like that. I'm like, it gets to a point. Like, and my next one is, again, the boundaries, no boundaries or weird boundaries. Like, no boundaries, I'm sure we all know what that is, but like weird boundaries is they set like these weird rules in the friendship that are like, what's going on? Like, are we like what? Like, it's just weird ass things and weird ass rules. And the no respect. It's like you can see, like, in any relationship, if someone is disrespecting you, like, blatantly, it's a no. My next one is jealousy. Jealousy. And with that, like, I feel like I've been in so many connections and people will come up to me and be like, this person is so blatantly jealous of you. And I'll be like, I don't think that, because I feel like it's so narcissistic to think someone
like
is jealous of
hating on
you.
like, being a
Yeah.
jealous
So I
bitch.
would never, I'll be like, no. Like, if I don't see this person blatantly doing something, but it's like, no. People are jealous.
It gets to a point.
Yeah, it gets to a point. Like, at some point, you're going to have to realize that someone is acting a certain way to you and doing certain things, either because they want to be you or I don't know. It's just weird ass jealousy. And the thing about jealousy too is some people don't know that they're acting or being jealous, and then it just
The lack of self-awareness.
yeah, there's
is
just no
crazy.
self-awareness, and there's like this weird ass animosity, but it's like because you have something that they want, so they unintentionally start like behaving in a crazy ass.
Oh, not Jen Michael heating up.
I like
Faces turning red.
No, like I will say something like I know like some people don't like to admit that they can be jealous sometimes, but for me, I'm like it's a natural human emotion.
Yeah, that's what I had
like-
to start realizing.
So, like my thing is, it's like there's been times where I catch myself feeling that way, but it's just the fact of just clocking it for yourself and
You have to
checking
be
in,
self-aware.
just to be like, oh wait, this makes me feel this way, and it's okay to feel like that sometimes,
Yeah.
but some people
Take
just like
accountability,
don't
like-
understand, and they just like move so weird.
No, literally move so weird.
Like again, it's a natural human emotion.
Yeah. And I feel like I never
like-
realized that because I don't know if maybe that's like a trait of being self-centered, but it's like I appreciate, like if someone had I'll give an example. Like I still live at home. Everyone I know like lives in an apartment. Do you think I'm sitting here like, oh my God,
haven't
like
moved out yet.
I'm blah blah blah. It's like no, like good for everyone. I live at home. I'm like, that's great. Like, but another person would take that and be like, oh, this person has this, blah blah blah.
I don't.
Like, and even with like all like me and Sweet Creedy are like the only single people in our friend groups. Like we could be the most jealous, weird, but
No,
it's like
you're so right. But like we're,
other
like,
people, and I've experienced this, other people would like, and we're probably thinking about the same person right now. They'll try to meddle their way into your connections and relationships and think that they're having good intentions with it, but it's literally just weird ass behavior. Like
That's another thing. I'm like, if there's good things happening to your friends, be happy for them.
yeah.
Why-
That's
if
literally
they
that's
have-
how I think. So I've
I'm
never
like that has nothing to do with you.
that's exactly what I think. Like I don't know if this was like a red flag or green flag that I had. if it don't have nothing to do with me, I really don't give a fuck.
I'm
Like,
like, no, it's really simple.
That's your
as
life.
that, because it's just you being selfish.
Yeah.
If your friend gets into an amazing relationship,
and you're like, fuck, when is it my turn?
like instead of thinking that way, you should be thinking. I know, but there's people out there.
There's people out there.
Like,
Instead of just being happy for them, like
I have a hard
You're
time
like, oh my
grasping that concept just because like I naturally like don't really feel that jealousy, especially
No, that's
towards
what
my
I'm saying.
friends.
That's why I was like,
Really?
oh no, like I'm not like this. Another
No,
person can't be
really.
like this to me.
Like,
What? We're friends.
If my friend got everything I ever wanted in life tomorrow, I would just be so
Be like,
happy.
wow, like
I mean, it might cause me to like look at myself and be like, what can I do to like?
yeah,
get-
that's
Yeah,
what
no,
I do. I
exactly.
reflect.
Well, I don't know. I always.
I'm not
just
weird.
like I speak to myself. I condition myself to not be a hater because that's just.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
Oh, I
weird.
should have wrote that down. Being a hater, someone who literally, like, you're with them and they're blatantly just hating on someone else
It'd be the evil eye.
24/7, and
The evil
they're like,
eye.
"You agree, right? You agree?" And I'm like, "No, like, I don't agree with your hating ass behavior. Like, they want you to enable their hating, and I'm like, no, like."
Also, just while we're here, I hate a bitch who projects.
Like, bitch, I'm not your mirror. We are not the same. You're not about to project anything on me. Like,
No, absolutely.
I'm like, girl,
Nah.
I know projectors are trending right now. You know, the TikTok shop projectors.
IMAX 40.
We're not IMAX.
Like, take them. Like,
cinema. Back the
this
fuck
is
up.
not a movie. Like,
Project onto the mirror. Well, back.
Let me say something.
It's
The
projection.
amount of times I've had some people say stuff about me to me,
that is them.
and I'm looking at them like, what are
That's
we
you,
talking
bitch.
about?
That's you,
What are we talking
bitch.
about right
That
now?
is you,
It ain't me.
bitch.
It ain't me. It ain't not me.
Oof, like we had the same friendship breakup last year. No, you literally cannot make this up to, especially the time when the wall started cracking. She would talk shit about other people and then go tell those people that we said that about them when everything was thing that
Psychotic.
like, I'm like, are
Crazy.
you okay? She'll talk to us and we'll be like, we don't agree
My
with you,
thing-
or we'll just
you
stay
know-
silent and let her talk, and she'll run and go tell those people that we said those things
My
about.
take is it takes so much energy to be a hater.
No, like,
than just being supportive.
that's why I don't do it, because
It's like-
I'm like, damn.
Do you know how much energy and effort you have to mentally and physically
To
put in
hate.
yourself to just physically be a hater 24/7?
And I'm like, sorry, I have my own life to live. Imagine worrying about someone else so deeply that it affects every single thing you do.
Okay, so back to the projection of it all. So I am friends with these two girls. They're very fly, hot, and sexy. Shout out to Kitty. Shout out to Saki.
Yes,
We
Katie and
love
Soxy.
And then this other friend would always make comments about how like they're like vapid or like haha we
Really?
probably talk about like flat tummy tea and just haha and talk about how pretty we are all day because we are hot.
But even if you are, like, why are you mad because someone knows that they're a bad bitch? I hate people like, well, let me stop using the
we
word
don't
hate.
even really move like that. But,
But
you know what?
even if you
like,
did, what does that have to do with them?
I
Because
don't.
you thinking you're a bad bitch
Like, you
is
just-
not.
Like, is it giving like they just thought just very like superficial?
it's giving they are
They're
projecting.
projecting
Yeah.
onto us that we were like superficial. Mind you, these like dates that we went on, it would just be like the three of us a lot because like I don't know, whatever, our vibes were good. We would talk about like everything, like politics, like our own feelings. Like we would go really deep about like our relationships, friendships, like where we see ourselves in the future. Like that's the shit I want to talk about with
Yeah.
my friends. Like duh, that's
Like,
kind of like a
yeah.
no-brainer. And then with this individual literally like is like so shallow emotionally, has like no like emotional
It's
depth.
like, whoa, you
Like,
think everyone's like you? No.
You could be like crying to them and they will laugh. Like if they don't think what you're crying about is like
And it's
warrants
a, like,
crying,
It's
they will laugh at
it's
you.
armor, but it's literally armor. They're not able to have these deep conversations because they have a lot of insecurities on those topics and just being emotional and real.
But that's-
So when other people are, they laugh.
Yeah.
They make it very lighthearted
Trivial,
because they're
haha.
not
It's
able
just-
to go that deep.
I feel like this kind of goes to like some people literally can only have superficial connections.
Yeah.
Like there are some people that literally that's something I realized
I
with
can't.
certain people is like that's something I noticed is I was like fuck looking back I'm like every single conversation we ever had would be so shallow, super superficial, where it's like it will always be about other people
It's like, God
and like other
damn.
people's businesses. Nothing really beyond that,
Can I say something?
you know?
I feel like some people don't want friends, they want acquaintances that like enable their behavior.
Yes.
They want acquaintances that enable the shit that they do and like nod their head and let you do whatever you do and they let you double down. If I'm your friend, look into the camera. If I'm your friend, I'm not gonna do that. Like I'm gonna let you know when you're hella wrong.
Let me add one more to what makes a good friend is holding you accountable.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I don't want a
my
friend
God.
that is just gonna sit there and be like,
And that was our major problem, not even to bring up the same person again, but even in multiple connections, you call them out on their bullshit. If you don't agree with them, it's a big fucking issue. It's like, who the fuck are you?
but it's like
I'm gonna tell you if you're doing something wrong, because that's what a friendship is. I'm not gonna.
Exactly.
I've been gathered.
Like,
I have been gathered many
I
times.
didn't even have an intervention with you or like call you out, because again, I don't sit here and think about what people are doing all day, but if you're blatantly like doing something that's absolutely like
and if
just
your friends
insane,
have something to say to you, it's because they care for you and have good
like
intentions.
literally that's point blank.
If you can't get across that and you just are just super defensive, then that's just a reflection on you.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, let's add another one. Just someone who's like open to criticism. Like
Yes.
I maybe
yes,
do
yes,
this
yes.
on like the extreme end of the scale, but like I am genuinely like I have had conversations with my friends where like I'm like, please hurt my feelings. Like I'm literally like,
Be real.
please tell me what it is. I would rather us be uncomfortable right now
Yeah,
for me
then
to
be
swallow
uncomfortable
this.
later.
And as I'm talking, I'm realizing some people do not even have the capacity to have that conversation.
Yeah.
Some people do not have the capacity or the intellect to like grapple
Because
these like
they
slightly
take it
abstract
very
concepts.
personally.
Yeah, and they just like act on impulse
They
and like
think it's like an attack on their character,
yeah, but
but
it's
it's
like no.
no one thinks you're like a terrible person. Like it's really not
stop
that deep.
stop being like that
Like
a little bit.
I'm that person as
You
well.
are a terrible person, but
I'm like, I don't know if I'm a Libra, but I really take criticism, and I was mentioning in the relationship episode, literally my last partner ate me the fuck down, and I literally changed everything. And I'm for the better because of it. I'm like, even though that was a situation that did hurt and cut deep, I'm like, okay, now I'm I've grown as a person. It was hard to hear, but you grow, and that's how you fix. I mean, the connection did not fix, but that's how you fix connections and relationships and things like that. It's like, take criticism. You can't be the same forever. You're not perfect. You're never going to be
we're
perfect.
always just evolving.
Yeah, literally.
And also,
evolution,
good friends
evolve.
want to make each other the best versions of themselves.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. All right, my next one is borderline sexual relationships. Like, are we friends? Or are you trying to fuck me? Or are you trying to be with me? And I've had this problem
It's the no boundaries.
many times. And it's really the no boundaries things. It's like, all of our friends, we all smooch and stuff, but it's purely platonic. It's like, okay, we just love each other. Like, it's, we do that. But there are some people that just cross the line. Like, I've been in so many situations, believe it or fucking not, I'm like, am I the problem? Where, like, okay, well, smooch, we'll do that. And then all of a sudden it's turning into, would you have a threesome with me? Or why? Like, me, I've never had a threesome. And these people know that, and they think, oh, like, and then they get offended when you don't want to be like sexual with them. And it's like, we're friends. Like, why do we have to take that step? And why are you getting offended because I don't want to take that step with you? And then it just like, when you get so obsessed with each other that you're doing everything together, you're like everything, like, it's just literally borderline a romantic connection.
That's something I had to learn the hard way, where I've had a friendship where it was just so, what's the word, embedded?
Yeah.
Enmeshed. Just very enmeshed, that it felt like that was not a
Like,
friend.
I'm not
Like,
your
I was
fucking
dating
man, bro.
you.
I'm not your
like,
man.
why are you mad at me if I'm not giving you enough attention? Like,
Yeah.
that's like a boyfriend
kinda
thing.
sick.
Like, calm down.
It's like they're looking at you to fill
As a
holes
possessive,
that they,
they're just,
number one,
oh, that's the thing, when they're like possessive over you.
Yeah, you need to fucking relax.
But anyways, moving on.
Yeah, my next one is put you in weird situations.
Especially like, you live in your city, we like to have fun, we like to go out from time to time, right? But as friends, we need to make sure no one ever ends up in weird situations.
With men,
we have to look out
getting
for
home
each
safe.
other always. That's like number one priority. Anyone you're friends with that kind of, what's the word? I'm thinking of a word, but I can't think right now. Puts you in any weird situations and they're not thinking about your safety, red flag.
Red fucking flag.
Red flag.
Red
Like, no
fucking
friend
flag.
should ever leave you with weird people or encourage weird people to come or just being around weird people.
Or just pressure
That's
you to
just-
do things that
you don't want to do. And that just comes with just having no boundaries and not
Yeah.
understanding boundaries and just
Like,
morals.
bitch, I'm not like you.
I
I
feel
don't
like-
know where we are right now. You need to get me the fuck out of here.
Like beyond like friendship level, on like a like personal safety level, like
oh, like,
that is something
why are
that's
you putting
like
your friends in dangerous
really
situations?
serious. Like
It's so serious.
as like I mainly have like women as my friends. I don't know what y'all see. Like I'm a gay boy out here, but like I will literally like put hands on anybody
No, me.
if they touch
I'll
one of
put
my
the pause.
friends.
You
Like
you know that TikTok trend where it's like the gay fan pretending to be straight, like when you're with your
yeah,
friend, like
no, I've done that stuff. Like
Really?
it's like I'm so quick to jump in. Like I even just talking about it, like I get heated. Like I don't care if I'm 5'8", I will literally like tackle you. Like I will lay you the
No,
fuck out.
like-
Do not
And
touch
then-
one of my friends. Don't ever like make a weird like. Don't try to like ooh like I just the thought of like someone like like even when guys do that weird thing with like touch your waist and like
No,
like that.
bitch,
No,
Why are you
no.
trying to pit me out?
Not that anyone needs a defender, but like we
Yes.
will be there if needed.
Why are you trying to pit me out?
It's strange.
not even that. It's just like there's people like girls that like are very male centered when we're
Yeah.
out. That they will like leave you on the dust if they just find
Find a
some
man.
guy or they invite him. Like suddenly you're not existent.
And I'm like, even when it gets to a point where you do meet someone, you're having fun with someone, I'm always like, where's this person? Like, I'm making sure you're always in eyesight. You're like, you always can be seen. You like, where I'm texting you. Like, I'm not gonna leave you. I'm not gonna go home. Like, no.
And thankfully, I have really good friends that if I like, it's not recently. If
Yeah.
I ever meet someone out, like all my friends are talking to the person, making sure I'm safe, making sure I'm good, clocking in, just checking in, because that's what friends should do.
Me.
To look out for each other. You know, like
It's literally not
it's
that
really
hard.
not. It's really not a crazy concept.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's nothing crazy.
Yeah, my last ones, I guess we touched on was like bad communication, like not being able to have a healthy conversation, and then putting you down in front of men and just other people.
Oh, I hate when people do that. They
Like
like
saying,
make
like,
little comments
slight
about
comments.
I have a good like example.
you. Go ahead.
Okay, same individual. So they do this thing, or I feel like I don't know why. I feel like they think that like I'm always trying to like get attention from people, or like,
I've been there.
or like they think everything I say is like a joke. I mean, like I am fucking hilarious, but like that's not the point. Like I'm a very vibrant person. I like to yap.
Some
I have
people, we're
fun.
both Leo risings. We get
People
energy
don't like that shit.
naturally.
People don't like that
Naturally,
shit.
We don't have
But
to try.
Leo rising,
And that's what a Leo
you
rising.
guys walk into a room and the
We're
attention
ruled
is
by
just
the
on
sun.
you.
I
it's
feel
not
like the
really
sun. Like not even on some like narcissistic
No,
self-centered. Like
it's literally
I relate to the
showing
sun.
you.
I really feel like the warmth inside of me. I feel like I am like this ball of energy that like radiates warmth. That is like the vibe that I'm always.
hate that.
Some people can't even think like that. So that's our
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Like some people don't
They think
even.
that you're performing. It's like, no,
You're like,
this
baby,
is
that's just you. That's just you.
No, but they have this habit of like I'll say something. Okay, this is a perfect example. And then within this they will just like project a bunch of other shit onto me. But like we were running really late for dinner. It was like 9. No one had eaten. We got like Red Bulls and shit just to like kind of like pregame on an empty stomach. Not the best idea. Whatever. But I just said like at this point like I'm just using this to suppress my appetite. Like just because it's caffeine, it suppresses your appetite.
Yeah,
like that's a
for
fact.
sure.
Whatever. And this person just like. This is something they do very often. They take like 3 to 5 minutes to like make a face and be like, "What? What was the joke there? What? What do you mean by that?" I was like, "There was no joke. It was a comment I said in passing." Like, and that's when I like before I wouldn't say anything. I would just like let the moment pass. But like a couple weeks ago, I had a moment where I was like, I'm just going to speak up. I don't have to be rude, but I will like say what I have to
Call you
say.
out, yeah.
I'm just gonna call you like, not even calling him out. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, like there was no joke, there was no punchline.
No.
I simply said that as a throwaway comment, or like I just said it in passing. I didn't even say it to him. I said it like to the room. If anything, I was talking to myself. But why? What makes you feel okay to just like look at me, like make me feel dumb and try to belittle me when you're like literally the dumbest person I fucking know? You're like the most dense individual I've ever met. You don't have the capacity to have any of the conversations that I can be having, like these beautiful, wonderful conversations that we're having now. You don't have that capacity or ability. So why would you sit there and make me feel stupid? I guess I just answered my own question. It's because you don't have that capacity. So maybe, I'll be kinder. I'll lead with light and love, and you're too dumb to know better. I'm sorry.
No, I hate people who like you'll say something and they'll sit on your words for weeks.
Get up.
I'm
Get the
like,
fuck up.
get the fuck up. Like, what? Like, bringing the same situation up over, but not in a way that's addressing it. It's just to be sly.
You know what I noticed? There's some people out there that when you try to call them out for something, and their defensiveness comes on, where suddenly they're bringing up shit from months ago that you moved
I'm not even gonna lie.
and then they only bring that up to deflect from them taking accountability and putting that blame on you, which is very gaslighty and manipulative, obviously. So I feel like that kind of ties in that, where they just...
I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes in my, like when I was younger, I used to do that as well. But that's just because like when I was younger, I feel like, again, like if something is not directly affecting me, like you could be doing the craziest shit ever, but I'm like, if it doesn't have anything to do with me, I'm not gonna say anything, because I feel like at this point you're an adult, like I'm not your fucking mother. That's how I used to think, like if it's not directly affecting me, but I would take note of it. So when they would have the slightest problem about me, I used to be like, I used to listen, and I used to be like, but now let's talk about you. I'm like, and that's not a healthy thing. Like that's something I had to learn to stop doing. It was mostly in romantic connections, not really friendships.
But emphasis on when you were younger, which means you evolved and you grew
from that.
That takes reflection.
Yeah, I was like, okay, this is not
I need to cough real quick. Sorry, I have the burst for cold right now.
Yeah, I was like, that's not healthy behavior. I need to stop doing that. And if I'm having all these problems with people, then I mean,
think that kind of goes with when we had a question where it's like, have you ever been like a bad or toxic friend?
There, yeah.
I can talk about this because there's definitely been times where like obviously middle school, high school, you don't fucking know better, and there's definitely been times where like someone would like try to call me out for something, and I just like didn't really know how to take accountability. Mm-hmm. But obviously with time and maturing, I'm obviously better at that now. But there's definitely been in the past where like someone will be like, I don't know, like what's an example? Or like someone will be like, oh, I feel like you're not listening to me, and I'll be like, it's because I have ADHD.
Okay, wait. Actually, wait. Okay, that I have a lot.
It's like it's valid, but it's still like not an excuse if someone feels like you're not paying attention. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But this was when I was first like diagnosed, so I use that as an excuse for everything. You know, I'm gonna call myself out. But now I'm like, okay, just because you have this, it's not an excuse.
I don't feel like it's an excuse at all.
It's just an explanation, and you still have to clock in and be better.
Yeah. Literally, exactly.
That was me with time management too. I would always be running late and stuff, and people would be upset with me, and I'll be like, oh, I have ADHD, like my brain just doesn't work the same way. No, but it's okay though. But it's just like kind of taking accountability where it's like,
you still have to take accountability though.
It's like,
I also have ADHD.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, you have ADHD, so what are you gonna do about it?
Exactly. Yeah. You have to lock in and figure out what works for you then.
Yeah. That brings up like a lot of stuff for me, because I think something that like back to like the ADHD thing, and like
had a lot to say.
Potentially being like a bad or toxic friend. Mm-hmm. I think like sometimes or like some things that I'm like really like I pay attention to is like I have the tendency, and like not because I want to, but like if I'm having a thought while you're talking, I might like cut you off. And
I did that in the last episode. You can see there's a comment on our Instagram. Someone was like, "What is wrong with you?" Let her talk.
They're like, "Shut the fuck up."
And I'm like, that's just how we conversate. Like, it's not that deep.
Yeah. But like no one's ever like expressed that gets on them or whatever. But like I'm just like being self-aware in those moments.
I'm the same way.
And I have moments where like we could be talking and like I will literally just start doing something else, and then like I've had conversations with my friends. It's like, I try my best to obviously pay attention. All I can do in that moment is literally just be like, oh my God, like, what were you saying? And like, if you can just meet me there, that's all I need. Literally, like, I will, the moment I realize it, and it's probably like 2 seconds. It could be like us talking or us talking, and I'll like, you could be telling me something important, and like my like brain kind of like floats off, and I'll like pick up my phone and like start looking at something, and obviously you'll be like, excuse me, but then like, before you can even say anything, I'm like, oh shit, like I just put my phone down, and like, I realize what I'm doing again. And like, just to have friends that can like understand that part is fine, but I'm also held accountable. Like, I'm not gonna be like, like, I'm just like that.
Like,
which
I'm
is
not a doctor.
Like, don't get me started on this individual. This individual claims to have like some form of autism that has never been like diagnosed.
Autism has become such a trendy.
Self-diagnosed.
So you get to like not have empathy. You get to not read the room.
Wait, can I say something? It's like I've had this experience where like you'll have a roommate that doesn't do their dishes, and they're like, "Oh, it's because I have ADHD."
Oh, the Bushwick.
What the fuck does you having ADHD have to do with the fact that you can't do your dishes? Bitch, me too. But I still make sure to do it because I live with other roommates. Like, it's not that easy. You
cannot use that excuse in common areas, in common spaces. For my room, I have ADHD. I have ADHD.
No,
that's why I don't clean my room.
So
it is my room.
Roommates, I'm like, my room will be a disaster, but I will never get that mess to like leave my room.
Yeah.
Because I care about other people that I live with.
No, like, these self-diagnoses just really kill me.
I could talk a lot about
Who told you that I'm not a doctor? So why are you telling me that you have something that you never went to the doctor for?
And it's like, first of all, you weren't diagnosed. Second of all,
not diagnosed.
You like aren't making any attempts to like self-reflect or like improve your life and like see how that, like, obviously I have empathy for anybody going through that because like I'm somebody who has like ADHD and like goes through that. But like
those people, like, say, like, speaking of the people who are diagnosed, I already know that you have that. Why are you bringing it up every 3 days? Like,
no, that's the difference. It's like, okay, my take on this is like, okay, when I was 20 years old, like, I found out I might have ADHD because of TikTok, because I kept seeing TikToks about it, right? But like, there's some people that will just take that and just stop. But I'm like, no, if you think you have something, first of all, you reach out, you get tested, which is what I did. And then you start researching on how you can improve your life. Yeah. And like, you know, new tips and tricks to like, you know, organize your life and what works for you. It's like some people don't take that.
That's why they be self-diagnosing themselves so they can use it as an excuse.
They just get stuck, and I'm like, what is that? Like, you can't grow from that, you know? It's not like...
I just want to use it as an excuse.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, if I feel like if you're doing that, you might not actually have ADHD, just because, like, on a personal level, like, it was about me surviving the world.
No,
like, it wasn't about me being able to be like, oh, I can't do this or X, Y, Z. Like, I had to go through so much, like, building a better relationship with myself, looking up every single thing, like learning how to like work out properly, like learning like what to eat, learning like what, like going through this big journey through like all these fucking medications, all of this shit. So for you over here who like went to therapy for like a month and then thought like, period, I got it. I'm gonna just run wild and double down on everything because it's just the way I am.
Like my diagnosed journey literally began because I was struggling in college. And I was like, oh my God, what is wrong with me? And then I found out, and guess what? Went to therapy, got diagnosed, got tested, tried different medications. And then I'm at this point where like now I've done enough research to know what works for me and what doesn't. It's really that simple.
No, it really is that simple. Like,
but I've definitely had an ex that would get mad at me because like he just like did not fucking understand that, like, you know, it's just for ADHD, which like I'm so bad at eye contact. And some people get mad because they think just because you're not making eye contact with them, you're not paying attention. But I'm like, actually, if I make eye contact with you, then I'm not paying attention.
Yes.
Some people are making eye contact with you. You should be lucky I'm looking this way, and then I'm clocking.
I like try to look at people's like brow bone or like their eyebrow.
I can't even make eye contact. I like won't focus. Like, anyway.
And these are things that like you have the self-awareness. You see, you know what it is? It's like, again, I just want to bring it back to like people having the capacity, the ability to even be self-aware enough to realize this. Some people don't move like that. Mm-hmm. Those people might not be your friends. That's what I think I really like. If I want to tell the world anything, like,
they just want someone to enable them.
Yeah, but honestly, I don't even know if some people even know that they want that. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're just moving
with no self-awareness.
Just with no self-awareness.
Yeah.
Like, my mom has this saying in Spanish, it's un animal con ropa. An animal with clothes on. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, like that shit.
Animal with clothes on.
You're just an animal with clothes on. Like if like let's say like her like my aunt, her sister's husband
deep.
is like just Dominicans, you know, but like is like just being like a shitty husband to her, and she'll be like, "Es un animal con ropa." Like that's an animal with clothes on. Like don't listen to him. You know, he's being a brute. You know,
Like
he's just
something my mom would
moving
say.
around the world.
Yeah.
Like just like. You look like one of us, you put clothes on like one of us, but you do not act with the humanity of a person. You know what I mean? Your heart is like, I can't see it. If it's in there somewhere, I would love to see it, but I just don't. I don't.
You know what's a line my
I don't know
mom
if that's
would
tough
say?
or harsh, but...
This is my mom's iconic Nepali line. She'll be like, "Who like what down the milena?" That means don't poke the poop. Like, if you know someone's a shady person, don't go around. Don't be, like, poking it, you know? Leave that shit alone, basically. Like, once you find someone's a shitty person, you leave them alone.
Yep,
you don't go around
That's what I feel like.
You don't go around and mess around.
That's what I feel like early adulthood taught me, like...
You was poking the poop?
Yeah.
Because
It's like, I knew
you're putting all over yourself.
No,
you know?
that's what I mentioned in our first episode. You are who you're friends with.
Yes.
You are who you're friends with.
Yes.
So if you don't want to be associated with just bad people, if you don't want to be associated with shit, the poop, then have it like stay
I
away
guess
from
we can talk about like what are some signs that a friendship has like outlived its purpose.
Oh.
Like what are some moments or things where you realize
Number one, if there's like weird animosity on both ends, like there's just always tension, like you're mad at them for like the slightest thing, like they could blink wrong and you're like, damn this fucking bitch, like damn this fucking bitch. I'm like, once it gets to that point, the friendship is done. But yeah, I was like, you just know, and I feel like your body knows before you.
Yes.
Your body really knows before you.
I feel like that. Sorry, do you have anything else to say?
No,
because I feel like that segues into like I might have already said this. I don't know. We've yapped quite a bit, but like I literally when I read that question, I wrote check in with your nervous system.
Yeah.
Like forget all the like 1,000,010 things, all the million weird ass bitch interactions that you have with people. Like literally like just be like. Just like even if you wiped my memory of this person today, and I was like, if I was around you, like how do I feel
would
internally?
Would I want to fuck you up?
Like,
or would I not want to fuck you up?
Oh my god.
Actually, this kind of leads to me what I said of why a friendship, how you know if it outlived its like purpose, whatever. My biggest indicator is when you go home after hanging out with them, like on one-on-one.
Wait, I'm just like, how do you feel? Do you feel lighter or better? Drained or exhausted?
Exactly.
Did a piece of you stay hidden? Or were you able to be yourself?
You're killing me.
Okay.
No,
mine was like basically the same thing, but I kind of worded it as like, do you go home feeling inspired and fulfilled? Or are you like, it's really just like, because I think just as being creatives, I want to surround myself with friends that are equally as creative and inspirational.
Yeah.
Right? So like as an example, every time I hang out with Saman, I go home feeling like, ooh, I could do everything, like super inspirational and just uplifting each other. And that's how it should be.
No, yeah.
But some people, like, that's when I realized, like, okay, I think I'm, like, outgrowing them is when I come back home and I don't feel that way. I just feel weird. And it just feels like we're just on different wavelengths.
Yeah. Like, I went through this phase. Everyone knows. Like, I used to storm out of events. I used to leave the group chat every fucking 3 weeks because I would just be tight. And it would be one person that would get me so tight. But I thought I didn't even think this. Like, the group just convinced me to be, like, the original time we stopped being friends, like, everyone was like, you guys should be friends. Like, I'm like, okay, so I have to be friends with this person for the sake of the group. But I will always be angry, go home. Like, bitch, you got me tight again every day. Like, this is an everyday thing. But again, I was still giving them the benefit of the doubt. And that's another thing. You don't have to give people the benefit of the doubt.
That's something I've had to learn the hard way.
That's a gift that you get to give the
like
person you choose to
How
give
many
to.
benefits do you need, bitch? You need a food stamps card? Like, like, please, like, every time, like, I can't be out with you and be like, yay! Like, no, like,
no, yeah.
That's another thing. Like, you're always getting into hijinks with this person. You can't have a normal interaction, or you can't be around with someone without drinking or being on some sort of substance. I'm like, what's really going on here? Like,
I just knew my friendship was over when one of the few times we had a one-on-one, I just went home feeling embarrassed. Just based off their behavior when you're out, I just had like secondhand embarrassment, and I was like, do I really want to be out in public with someone that
has no
engages in this kind of behavior that makes me feel embarrassed to be seen with you, you know? I don't want to be embarrassed by my friends.
Yeah. It's like, damn, like, no decorum. Like,
yeah.
No decorum.
Yeah.
Only dick quorum. Stop playing.
I feel like I knew my friendship ended, or like for me, because I can hold a lot of space for people. Like I really can. Yeah, we gotta.
Cynthia,
whatever the fuck they were doing. No, like I can genuinely like meet if I believe that you are my friend, that you are somebody who is part of my support system. I can.
Accept your flaws.
Yeah, I can accept so many flaws if you can just meet me even like, and this is like low-key pathetic, like if you could just meet me like 20% of the way, I'll do the 80. I'll do the 80. Like I will like, and honestly, like I'm learning like I don't have to do that.
You never knew.
But it was just so many times
much energy, bro.
Where I found myself like having to put overextending is a really good way to put it. I was gonna say like
vocabulary. Yeah.
Yes. Just like shoving everything down, or like kind of like having to do the mental gymnastics of being like, okay, you're being egregious right now, but like I'm just going to pull back and like, you know, let you know in like the most neutral way possible, like, hey, I'm not fucking with that, or like, hey, that hurt my feelings. So when I do that and I'm having a conversation with you and I'm looking you in the eye, after you just ignored what I said, this person just literally did not, they thought that my feelings were so trivial that they did not warrant acknowledgement. Like they didn't even know a conversation. Dismissive. Just imagine.
Role play.
So yeah, if I'm looking you in the eye and I'm letting you know, hey, that like really hurt my feelings. Like I didn't like that. You know, I could be a bitch. I could be like, fuck you. Why did you like? Why are you somebody who's like so dismissive and like doesn't like give a fuck about it? Like I could
I'm
be
being nice right now.
And the fact that I'm literally like I'm making it light for you because you're a child. Because you can't take it.
I could be a raging fucking
bitch. And then I had to be. I don't know if we're gonna get to that, but then I had to be. But yeah, I'm sitting across this person. And they're just like throwing their hands up, like kind of being like, yeah, like your feelings were so ridiculous. Why would I even acknowledge them? Behavior. Also, remember, I live with this person, so I woke up with this individual. They were like walking around, singing to themselves to fill up the space, just being mad weird because they do not have the capacity to have a slightly uncomfortable conversation. And I didn't come at them crazy. I was just like, hey, like I didn't appreciate that. Just not talking to me. Look, we're going to brunch together this morning. Not saying anything. And I'm like, we're both like adults. Like this is really weird. So me being like, hey, like, are you just like not gonna like acknowledge my text message? And like we laugh about it, and they laugh in my face repeatedly while I am like trying to be like, hey, like I didn't appreciate that.
Just like that is something a toxic ex would do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's very, very weird behavior. But I think in that moment.
Wait, let me ask a question. I'm being messy. Do you think this person has like feelings for you?
No.
Because sometimes it is simply that.
No, I don't know. I don't think so. No. No, it's not. No.
Because sometimes it do be that.
Sometimes you just gotta check it.
Yeah, no, thank you for checking it, but I don't think but yeah, there was just a moment where I was like, no, like I don't need to be friends with anybody. Yeah. I'm sorry, like I have my pick. I feel like when I go out into the world, like there's so many beautiful, smart, creative people. Look at us here sitting on this couch, like just like having a little fun.
We have our own gang that,
yeah, like you can like there are literally millions of people in New York City. Why am I spending time with somebody who makes me feel like shit?
Yeah,
like literally like shit when I'm like doing so much overextending, like you said, just to like meet you not even halfway, meet you at like. I'm doing like 90% of the work. All you have to be is like
running to the finish line.
You don't even have to say sorry. You could just be like, I didn't mean to do that. Like not even a sorry. I don't even care about that. Just literally like acknowledge it. So I just think it took a lot of like, and this has been like 5 years of like this person just the same behavior. Like
5 years.
When they do like they do some
5 years too, right?
Oh my god! Wait.
You're Bobby's fan.
That's okay.
But it's just like also complicated, and like this is a whole other podcast episode. But like, you know, when you're
It's giving us coming reoccurring guests over here.
well, yes, but it's like when you're in the dynamic of a friend group, it's also harder.
It is
because
so
like
hard.
we all drank the Kool-Aid. We all drank, and I hope my friends are gonna watch this. Y'all all have drank the Kool-Aid. We all drank the Kool-Aid. We were sipping on that fucking fruit punch.
Wait,
and some of y'all still are.
Are you currently the only person who has a problem with that?
No, there's not the only one. Like they've made another person crash out on them. Like this isn't
that's
like
a sign.
well, yes, there's a pattern, ladies. But it's like we drink the Kool-Aid. We think like them doing weird shit is just like normal because that's just them, right? They're too stupid to function. You know, they're just too dumb. They're just too dumb for their own good.
They're dumb as anything.
You can't fix
Mine was dumb broad. I kept calling
Like
them a
looking
dumb
back,
broad.
like we were all like
So that was-
shit. Like we really normalized a bunch of like.
Yeah.
And our biggest thing is because we don't talk shit, but this person will always talk shit. We'll just give her space to talk her
That's
shit,
how
but
long
none of
it
us
took
talk shit.
for me personally to come to the conclusion that I didn't want to be friends with this person because I never went to any of my other friends and talked about
and voiced our concerns because it's like,
Until
okay,
the very
I'm not
end
about
when
to talk
everything
shit
blew
about
up.
you.
because I'm not the kind of person to do that.
No,
Because
yeah.
if I have a problem with you, I will
Trust me,
talk
I've
to you
been
directly.
through 3 situations with this very same person. No one knew my side because she ran and told the bus driver, the dog, the
mailman,
the mailman, the milkman. She ran and told everyone. But first of all, that's a lot of energy that you're exerting to tell the same ass story to 12 million people. I'm pretty sure everybody in New York knows this story.
I don't know if I should say this, but
It's a lot of energy to do that, and then we just don't talk shit. Because why am I? If I have to talk shit about you, number one, if I can't say it to your face, then it shouldn't be said at all. Number 2, if I have to talk shit about you, then we're not friends. Like,
kind of goes with the same category, but like when you know it's time to let go, what does that process usually look like for you guys?
Maybe I can start. I don't know. I've had, unfortunately, like been with friends with like some of the most egregious people that I've ever fucking met. But it's just like back to like how you mentioned like your empathy and it being like taken advantage of. I feel like and like I mentioned, like I can meet someone, like I can like overlook so many things and I can work with someone. Like that's what it is. And like if I feel like you're my friend or if like I feel like we're in this together, like I can really work with you.
Yeah.
And I don't even expect you to work with me back sometimes, but like just give me a little bit. Like that's just it's so
you
sad.
have to expect that from
But
people.
yeah, but I know like
Not
that's
even a
the
breadcrumb.
that's the journey that we're on, that I'm currently on. But I have had to crash out a little bit on people.
No.
It gets to a point.
No, it gets to a
I'm
point.
obsessed with that word now.
No, it gets to a point.
No, it gets to a point.
Oh my gosh. It
When
really does. It really
I
does.
over and over again am like acting in like the most like not in like a weird way, but like, you know, very therapist, like, you know, like obviously approach the situation neutrally, like, you know, whatever. I try to do all of
I'm
that.
not gonna do that.
No, yeah, I'm not your mom.
Now the claws are coming out.
Right. But like my most recent crash out, it was literally like I wasn't even directly to this person. I was just talking my shit on the phone to my brother, and because we live together, he heard everything. I don't regret anything I said.
Really?
Yeah, but like I was also being loud. I was like, if you want to hear me, you can. I quite literally don't. give a fuck.
Ear pressed to the wall.
No, probably. I just really didn't give a fuck because I plan on like never being friends with this person again. So I'm like, fine by me.
That's what it is, yeah.
And then like I just sent like a text message the next day. I know we're talking about like sending long text messages, but like I don't. This isn't to fix anything.
I sent one too.
This
I
isn't
can
to
read
fix
it to you
anything.
guys.
Oh, mine is fierce.
Read it.
Chill. No. That might be for the Patreon exclusive. No, but like, I wish. Honestly, my biggest regret was that like I didn't say directly to their face. But like, whatever.
No, I've had
How did they react to the text?
Okay. Oh fuck.
not nicely.
Wait, I don't know if I want this in, but whatever.
You don't have to.
Okay, wait. There's something I want to say, like that I think you could like clip in or whatever. But when you are falling out with somebody, if you want to crash out on them, just know that your anger will give them the gift of victimhood. I was conscious
That's why I
of
did
this.
mine in a way that was not like physically yelling or crashing out to them. I sent them a politely, because I could have been a fucking raging ass bitch, a politely worded text. When I tell you, the whole world has seen that text, and it was not me who showed them. And the text, again, since it was so politely written, everyone she showed it to agreed with me. So she just did the work herself.
Yeah.
So after this friendship breakup and another relationship breakup, I picked up a book Because I realized, oh my god, I'm just like too nice and empathetic. I need to learn boundaries. Like it was this book which is about like just for people that are like sensitive and how to like deal with toxic people, whatever. But like that's like the main thing is like also people like this, they're just more they have narcissistic tendencies and are really selfish that any emotion they perceive very highly, it just gives them more fuel.
Yep.
So the best thing really is just to like disconnect and kind of go out the quiet way.
Yeah.
However,
However, for me, in my personal circumstance, I want this individual to keep being themselves. Because that will be their downfall.
yes,
That's what we said.
that's
too.
what we said.
That's-
We're like literally
Keep being great. Keep doing you. Keep doing that.
doing you.
No facts.
You think that shit is cute? You like to laugh? You like to double down on what you do? Keep doing that. Let's
No.
see where you end up.
It's like I could go on a world tour yapping about it, but I don't need to. Your actions
No,
will just
Yeah.
show
You
for
look
it.
dumb as fuck. Imagine sending people a text and we're crashing out on you and they're being like,
Expecting people to be on your side.
and they're like,
I will say my last conversation with an ex-friend, I did crash out on the phone. I've never crashed out like that, I'm not gonna lie. But it felt well deserved though. It felt so good.
No,
It felt
sometimes it is well deserved. Like,
and they just needed to hear that from me. And I haven't spoken to them since.
I thought I had done like enough there. I've always wanted to like go off on a bitch, you know, like that's just something inside of me that's been there, like call it what it is. But like I thought I'd been through enough therapy and like gotten over like, yeah, no, I don't have that anger in me.
Oh,
That very much still exists within me, and whoever wants it could catch it. Like,
No, yeah.
it's just very much, and like, you know, I feel like I probably sound like aggressive or like meaner right now.
No,
but
you're
it's like,
not.
It gets
no, but it gets to
It
a
gets
point.
to a
It gets to a
point.
point, ladies.
no, what I do.
You have to. It's like a defense. You know, like I just cannot be around this vile energy anymore.
Yeah.
Like, the only way I knew to like really like extract you from my life is to really be as
You to
fucking
fuck
nasty
off.
as you are.
yeah.
Just in real time.
Yup, I do that,
And
but
that's
very
valid.
subtly. Like,
That's so
I'll
valid.
start being so slightly shady. So the fact, like, so shady, like, so shady in a way that if you think it's about you,
That's on you.
that's on you.
But also,
No, like,
we've been yapping for a minute now. It's been an hour and 30 minutes. So we can start closing up if there's any loose ends.
I guess. Do you guys want to like kind of talk about like moving on and like
Yeah.
what you take away
moving
from
on,
that?
evolving for sure.
Yeah.
My thing is, it's just so amazing that like once a friendship or I mean, we're focused on friendship ends, that they weren't meant to be in your life. You just flourish.
no
You
facts.
don't understand.
I'm like, they fucking beat.
No, not even that. It's just like I've gotten
No, even
such a nice sense of like peace, like a peace of
Yeah,
mind.
I'm like, this is the most
I-
peaceful,
Kidding
boring
me?
era
Like-
of my life.
I feel the power of God washing over me. Like it is not a joke. I'm not being funny. Like you guys don't understand.
Yeah.
I have never like looked at myself in the mirror and just felt so aligned. And like nobody is going to mess with
Exactly.
me. Nobody is ever going to. I'm not gonna allow anyone to like fucking catch my light like that. Do you know what I mean?
Like, that dim your light.
You're just like I'm literally such a fucking ball of light and warmth, whatever. If you would want to disagree, whatever. But that's how I know I move throughout the world. I don't want to share this with you. Like I do not want to share this with you.
that's very,
I don't
very
want you impeding on me able to like shine as much as I can. Like I don't know if this sounds like a corny example or not, but like you know what I mean. I'm just like
Now, once you
feel
retract
so
your energy
good.
back, that was
Yes.
me. Because
yeah.
I felt so drained for this person for years that as soon as I brought back all my energy back, I felt it was like a high.
Girl, and like also this coincides with like I've been really depressed for like the past couple months and I'm coming out of it. Like I'm coming out of it, you know? And I think as I was coming out of it, I literally was just like again, aligned with myself. Like I knew what the fuck I wasn't okay with. I knew what I want. I know I've been literally it just me coming out of my depression was me listening to myself and being like, if I think these thoughts about myself, I don't feel good. I'm not gonna think these thoughts about myself. And then I just slowly guiding myself towards a better place. And that came along with like what's physically around me, which are like my friends, the people I'm interacting with. So I started standing up for myself in certain moments.
The thing is, when you
not
start
letting
realizing
things
that,
slide.
everything that doesn't need to be there will fall away.
Like girls, I'm literally back on all my routines. You know, like you really gotta like
Exactly.
trim the fat.
That's exactly
Trim the fat.
trim the fat.
Not like in a fat phobic way, in like a butcher.
They're gonna clip this in.
No, like a get rid of what you don't need kind of way.
Yeah. No, as soon as you like do that, like when I tell you, you're right. I relate to that where like life just feels so boring because there's no drama.
I'm very bored right now. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Like there's really nothing for me to be stressed out on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
And like I feel like as someone whose nervous system was never regulated this way, it feels a little boring because I'm not used to this much peace. But it's so nice, and like I need to learn to be used to it.
You're not beefing.
But now, like, are you kidding me? Everything is sunshines and rainbows and just. And now I'm like, I mentioned this previously many times, but like now I'm like, oh my god, like we can all relate. Where I'm like, you know what? I have like the best friends now, and just such a strong support system that like this is it. You know?
Yeah.
Like no complaints, just vibes.
I think also, like, as shitty as these situations are, the way that I look at it is like contrast brings you closer to yourself.
Yeah, I was literally gonna say that.
Yeah, I've been operating off of that heavily. Like even if like there's a lot of things that I don't like about whether it be like my job or like my friendships or whatever the fuck. Like I'm like, okay, I look at this individual and I'm like, you are everything that I do not want to be.
No facts.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's something I realized. I read this quote and it really resonated with me. You can tell if a friend is like good for you or like vice versa. If
you
like,
would want to be in their shoes.
Exactly. If you feel like you can't switch places with your friend, that's probably not a good friend for you.
Oh, I'd jump so fucking fast.
You know what I'm saying?
I would jump so fucking fast, no shade. Like, I
now
cannot survive a day in that body.
Now I'm like, I look at my friends and I'm like, oh, they're doing so well. Like, I would love to trade lives. Because it's like, there's nothing there that makes me like, you know? That's also another good indicator to know that, like, if you're around someone good or bad, is if you can you like walk in their shoes and be happy with their life.
No, I cannot walk in the main.
And be happy with their life. If you can't, then that's a major red flag.
Yeah. I feel like losing people helps you to center yourself more and to understand. Yeah, you get to understand yourself more, center yourself, and you're really just not dealing with bullshit on a daily basis. Like, why are you having to fight for your life on a daily basis? And trying to prove yourself to bad people is so exhausting. It's like, who gives a fuck what you think?
Not even that.
You're
people
not that girl.
Who don't want to like even see you.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yup, this person did not see me and hated the fact that
No, like
people just
authentically
like me, and like we had a lot of problems with men, and it was one-sided because I really don't care about men. I'm not a male-centered person.
Some people are just so committed to misunderstanding.
And she would get so mad because men that she likes generally just like me as a person, and we had genuine friendships, and she would get so mad. Girl, I'm not throwing myself at these men. I really don't give a fuck. We're having a genuine connection because we're having a genuine connection. Like, why do you care so much? Like, oh, I hate people who care about you're in a group or you're friends with the same person that they are friends with, and they're so worried about your friendship with that person. It's like, why do you care so bad?
Like, there's some things that I don't even understand because I've personally never been through them, but I'm like, work. I don't know. I've never exerted my energy on that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, no normal person sits around and ruminates on shit like this.
Yeah,
you live your life.
Like, you're not normal. Like, just point blank period. Like, yeah, but we lose and we learn. Yeah. We live and we learn.
But it's okay. But post-era, though, it's really amazing. Because now I'm just like, ugh. We're just up. We're just up.
Men, no toxic people around me.
No stress, no anxiety.
No stress, no anxiety.
Life is good, you know.
It's boring, but...
And you know what? It has made me feel more grateful and appreciative for what I have.
Yeah, you always have to.
Because that kind of, like, set a little shadow in my life where I felt like, oh my God, like, I don't feel this certain way. But now I'm like, oh, that was just you.
Yeah,
you know?
Literally, bad people can take up so much space in your life, and you have to remember to live for yourself. Like, you should not be thinking about the day next move.
Yeah. Also, like, I feel like a lot of people like take anything away from it. You're gonna die one day. You have a limited amount of time and energy and capacity in your body. You are not Superman. You don't have 1,000 hours in the day. You don't have all the energy in the world. You only have so much. And even if like it's not spent physically spending time with that person, if that person makes you feel like shit, if you're jumping over backwards inside your brain to rationalize the weird shit that they do, like
That's
that
too
is
much energy,
you're-
too much
they're
time, too much
siphoning
space.
your energy, whether they know it, whether you know it. You are losing so much, and that's why I literally like I feel like I grew wings and I can fucking fly now.
Yes, exactly.
It's just like I have so much more energy for me that I was just kind of handing out. So that's why going back to like being intentional, like
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, you don't need people.
I don't.
You really don't. It's a choice to be in a relationship with someone.
No, literally.
Make better choices, guys. Alrighty. I think
Like that is it.
That's
That's
it.
like our friendship lore.
part 1.
Part 1.
Yeah.
This is our first episode of the series. I have a feeling Jen Michael might be back, maybe. Some other lore, you know? You seem to have a lot of insight.
Thank you.
You do.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're really good at this.
Thank you.
Let's give me your Michael
Capricorn popping
podcast.
out.
When I take over, JK, no.
No, it's like if I'm ever out of town, Jen Michael's
I
coming in.
might have to fill in. Yeah.
Alright, guys.
But yeah, that was a little bit of our lore. Hopefully people can relate and just take notes so you don't make the same choices, you know?
Yeah.
And just to look out for people in your life that just aren't good for you.
Yeah.
But that is it. Let's do one last.
Clink, clink.
Cheers. Our empty glasses.
This might be bad luck, but
Is it bad
yeah.
luck?
No, I think it's water.
okay
You
then.
can't clink water, but clink. See you later, alligators. See you next week.
And this was the pregame diaries.
Drink, drink. Clink, clink.